So swear.
This is off to a good start.
Wade nailed it. We're So Square Shot Outfitters has been a place that I've been going for the last 5 years, and it's been an amazing spot. Miles Fiskus is just a great guy, and it's out in Lisco, Nebraska. I swear if I wasn't tied here in Missouri, I would be living in Nebraska. But you're always going to see great deer, and you're always going to be in front of some. So we hunted the first couple days and really weren't getting the daylight movement we were needing. And we had a cold front come through. So we moved into this spot we've been waiting to hunt that was in a bedding area. And it wasn't long, and we noticed a deer that we had trail camera pictures of, a big 8-pointer that I would be glad to kill. He ended up staying out about 55 yards and worked past us, but we knew we were getting closer to him for sure. So at the end of the 4th day, we had a great encounter, but we didn't get anything killed. This is now the longest hunt I've had with Miles in 3 years. I'm beginning to worry, but I knew that we were close to the bucks, and I knew that we had the right wind for that stand again the next night.
Well, it is night 5. We had an encounter in this stand last night with a 10 and an 8. The 8's the older deer for sure. I don't know, the 10 almost looks like he's 3. I'd have to look at him. Hopefully I can see him tonight and really tell, but 8's an older deer. He's got really big brow tines. We're going to shoot him if he comes in. We're going to maybe shoot the 10 if he comes in. I don't know. Just have to see how old he is when he gets in there. But spot's been awesome. We saw 9 bucks last night. I think probably would have put an arrow in about 3 or 4 of them. So looked like they were mature deer. They're going hard horn every day. I think the majority of the bucks we saw last night were indeed hard horns. So I would say I better try to get it done tonight or tomorrow, or I'm gonna have to shoot a hard horn buck. But we're gonna get this stuff together and then slip in here and see if we can't get something killed tonight.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Sonoran Desert Institute. Turn your passion into a career and arm yourself with an education. Sitka, turning clothing into gear. Dead Center Archery Products, American-made precision-engineered stabilization solutions. And Shine's Scents, make a deer's nose his worst enemy.
So in 2017, we went out to Square Shot early. We were there first week of September and ended up taking a velvet whitetail with a bow. It was an amazing hunt, great time, but really, really hot. So in spite of the heat, we saw a ton of deer,
and on the fourth night, we had a great buck right underneath us.
So we're into day 5. We don't hunt mornings at all, early seasons, just the deer are back in the beds by the time we get there and need to kill them. So we're not in the stand very long, and we see the 10-pointer that we had an encounter with the night before, like 500 yards away, all the way across the field, and he's hardhorn. He went hardhorn overnight. So I'm beginning to worry because I don't know if there's any velvet deer around. Usually when they start, and they just go so quick. So I'm looking for the 8-pointer across the field, and he never shows up. And all of a sudden, I catch movement down below the stand. I look down, and he's right below us. So as the deer comes towards us, it appears on camera like he's coming straight at us, but he's really not. He's angling to my left, and I just need him to take one more step before I can shoot. And finally, after about 30 seconds, the deer takes the step, and I make the shot.
I hate that shot. That was horrible. God, it was back. But that's what we gotta deal with. So we're gonna give him a lot of time. It's gonna be a tough one to track. I don't know if they even got through all the way. But we're gonna wait. He was in velvet. That's the big 8. We got a lot of time we can give him. So it's about, I think sunset out here is like 7:20, something like that. It's, what time did I say it was? Like 6? Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. So, we're gonna give him a little bit.
So we went in the next morning, just kind of tried to, leapfrog into the blood trail and just take our time and kind of look through. And we ended up, he made a button hook, and he literally died probably 80 yards from the stand.
All right, well, we got this guy recovered. We didn't film anything with the recovery because it was an all-out search. It was unbelievable. We knew with a high hole we were gonna have a problem following blood. We found 4 spots of blood, literally. And just so happens that he circled completely around like these deer do when they're hit. They'll usually go back the way they came. We found 2 spots where he made the corner, and then we found 2 spots where he jumped the fence. And he was only 100 yards as a crow flies from the stand. So he was actually dead last night. He's pretty stiff now, but we got him pulled him up here on the hill so you guys can kind of see some scenery and stuff. But great deer, old deer, mature deer here. He's got a ton of character. He's in velvet, my first velvet whitetail buck with a bow. It could have been a little smoother. I think I could have made a little bit better shot on it, but wasn't too bad. We were right with backing out. I probably would have, even if I would have gone in and looked for him last night, he was dead, but I would have backed out still because just the low amount of blood that was there. But we're very excited about it. We're gonna get him out of here and get him skinned out and in the cooler and head back towards Missouri.
So we have the buck on the ground. We're extremely excited. Man, this is my 3rd buck now I've killed with Miles out in western Nebraska, and every hunt has been a little bit different, but ultimately I end up filling a tag and coming home with something I'm gonna put on the wall.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by True Ball Archery, the real #1. Anyone can claim it, we can prove it. Axel Sights and Scopes, leading technology, proven results. Black Eagle Arrows, the best precision carbon arrows. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. and swat broadheads. Drain your game. This segment brought to you by Matthews Archery.
Today we're talking about long distance shooting. And when shooting long distance, one of the first things that you have to do is bring the bow to you. And this makes you better at short range as well, but you have to bring the bow to you. Don't go to the bow. Bring the bow standing in a straight up position, bring the bow all the way into you, and then center in your peak. If you go to the bow, then it's going to cause issues when you try to center in the peep and start aiming. You're gonna move because you're not in a natural position. You need to stand up straight, bring the bow to you, and get your anchor. Then as you work the shot, you're in a relaxed position that allows you to make a good shot.
Alright, well, we've made it out to Oshkosh, Nebraska, and met up with my good friend Miles. Miles runs Square Shot Outfitters and has some really good ground north of Oshkosh. So we're going to meet up with him. We'll be hunting with Miles for the next 5 days, and with the Muzz tag. Got the brand new Muzz from Cross Canyon Arms. Just an awesome unit. it's a really cool gun, but we got inside it and it's ready to roll, so pretty excited about this week. I think weather's not supposed to be super cold, but still cold enough, with highs in the 40s, lows in the lower 20s at night, so ought to be cold enough to get some deer moving. Miles says they've been on the pivot and on the wheat pretty hard, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get a big whitetail in front of us and get it knocked down.
So we roll into town and get a hold of Miles, and he's like, hey, if you guys want to go out and scout, just do some scouting. I think I know what the deer are going to be doing for the most part, but just kind of get to some of the areas at the ranch and get an eyes on stuff, see if you find something you like.
To get across the creek, you got to go across this bridge right here.
Okay.
And then there's a gate just up there, just a little bit. There's a bunch of deer over on the hillside there.
Okay.
So what they do, a lot of them will bed up in those hills during the day, and that's, guys have glassed them and seen them and made the stock on them.
Okay.
And then they'll come down into these bottoms tonight, graze, and they'll come to corn over here. But I just wanted to show you how to get across there.
Now is that cut in? Is it past that fence, this fence here?
Yeah, you got to go across the bridge.
Right.
And then there's a gate, and it's closed and it's posted. And then there's a road.
Okay.
You can just follow that road up and you'll go through another gate over here.
Okay.
There's 2 gates and I'll put you right into those thick trees. These aren't real big cottonwoods here, or a lot of them, but it gets really thick back over their ways, and that's where there'll be a lot of deer hanging out in those trees today.
So we spent the majority of the first day scouting. Really wanted to just take our time to figure out what the deer movement was and where these deer were bedding. All right, we just got in here. Wanted to get in here about 2, and it's about 2:45 now, but there's already 30 some deer down in the bottom, and there's a bunch of does and stuff spread out. There's only one little buck with them. So we're just gonna sit here. We're on top. I mean, about as good a vantage point as we can get for what's coming. You know, we can see back in the canyons a ways, and we can see the bottom. So if we have a shooter show up, I think we can use the train to get to the bottom or go up. So we're just going to kind of watch it tonight and see if we can see some deer and figure out where the shooters are and put the vortex to work, and hopefully at least find the shooter. If we don't get to take a shot, we may not. But first night, we've been here 10 minutes and we've seen about 35 deer, so not a bad start to the day.
The Canopy Tri-Zip 1200 from Elevation optimizes ease of access and packability. Tri-Zip main compartment and wing pockets give you instant access to the bag, while dual density shoulder straps and bow haul system ensure comfort for long packs in. Elevation, above standard is our standard.
So morning 2, the plan is to kind of do the same thing. We're going to get high on the ridges and just kind of overlook the food sources and see what deer are still on their feet in the daylight and where they're going to go to bed midday. As it got light, I noticed there was a really nice buck down on the alfalfa, and he was heading our direction. All right, well, we have a shooter in front of us here. We just came up here this morning and said hi. Just wanted to watch, and this deer followed some does back in here, and he's just been checking every doe that's down there. There's about 50 does down in this bottom, so I don't know how long it's gonna take him, but we're just kind of sitting here. The wind's really, really calm, and it's crunchy to get around, so we're gonna let him close as much distance as he wants to, but if it doesn't happen, we'll push the issue, but I don't know. So this buck's down in the alfalfa with about 50 other does, and we kind of noticed that the whole herd kind of starts getting nervous. I noticed that as more of the does start coming off the food plot, they start kind of getting faster and faster and faster, and all of a sudden we look up and there's a road grader coming down the gravel road, and it's just got them kind of nervous, so they hastily start heading our direction. So we have to gather everything up quickly because we want to kind of parallel them and get to them when they hit the sand hills. That way we can keep a line of sight on them. I've noticed out there in years past that as long as you can keep eyes on a buck, you can kill him. So that was our main goal for just trying to keep the wind and keep eyes on him as he was heading up to bed. So as we're sneaking up over the sand hills, we pop the first one and I lose sight of the buck. I don't know where he went. I kind of start to panic. So we quickly back up, make a big circle around and pop the next one. As soon as I start making the top of the ridge, I notice antlers. Good? Yep. So this is, I don't know if you can see it or not, we'll get some shots of it. This is a brand new muzzleloader made by Cross Canyon Arms. And we just got it. They overnighted it to me right before we left, the day we left, honestly. Came out, hunted with Miles. This is 4 for 4. I've hunted with Miles for 4 years. We've shot 4 deer. So after the shot, the buck goes immediately down, and we gather things up to get a better look at him. Holy moly. I knew he had those double high guards. Let's get this thing down here. Up here. Look at that. That is what you love to see. That is a heavy deer. I don't know what he's gonna score. I would guess upper 50s, low 60s, but for a 9-pointer, that's outrageous. So, super mature deer, that's what we came here for. Can't say enough, man. Square Shot Outfitters. Miles has been putting me on some deer that I have just dreamt about, but this is my favorite place to come. I love Nebraska. I know Miles has great deer, and Miles puts in the work to put you on them, but man, today was a dream come true. What a great late season deer out in western Nebraska, and man, it's a great time. If you've never hunted western Nebraska, you definitely owe it to yourself to head out here and give Miles a call. He'll put you on the right stuff, that's for sure.